Hello, lovely ladies. So this is your moon sequence, Chandra, Namaskar, and the Feminine Moon Salutation. So a little bit about this sequence and why we do it, how it benefits us, and you can add this to your practice in when it is a new moon, when it is full moon, when we're in the water element week of the cycle. And it's a lovely practice in the summertime when it's hot. So when we're in that pitta, in that pitta energy, when everything feels really, really hot. So yeah, really nice and cooling. So this is a little bit about the energy around it and why we do it. So this sequence is a sacred sequence as a devotional dance to the moon, a slow flowing embodiment of a cooling, grounding, and intuitive energy. It invites us to soften, to honour our inner tides, and to return to the earth and our own cyclical rhythm. So, the feminine flow into lunar grace. She is soft and silent guide, the one who moves in the shadows, who tides the oceans, who stirs the womb waters of the world and whispers to the wild feminine within. The moon carries the medicine of the feminine, cooling, creative, reflective, and restoring. She does not blaze, she glows. She does not rush, she cycles. And she teaches us to honour our own phases, emotions, and inner tides. The moon moves oceans, rivers, and tides, and we too are made mostly of water. She tugs at our inner seas, our feelings, our rhythms, our capacity to change and flow. She speaks to the sacral chakra, our centre of emotion, fluidity, pleasure, and flow. So, here in the sacred waters of our belly, we hold both pain and power, and we learn to let it move. The moon sequence, Chandra Namaskar, is a sacred embodiment of this lunar energy. Unlike the solar sequences that ignite and activate, this is a practice of softening, surrender, and inner listening. It invites us to move slowly with grace and receptivity. It cools, soothes, and harmonizes our inner water body. So as we move with breath, not force, we begin to release the emotional residue held in our hips, belly, and heart. Each movement is an offering, a prayer to the moon to help us release attachment, to let go of striving, and return to the flow. So in our session, in our training this weekend, we dedicated each round to the aspects of ourselves, the girls that we used to be, the women that we are now, and the women that we are yet to become. So I'm going to go through that as a sequence. So if you would like to, you can follow it, just watch it through first, and just to get the moves, and then you can come back to it and do it along with me, which would be really lovely. So the other thing that I wanted to add here, this particular sequence as well, is that the sequence works really well on the lymphatic system. So it's a brilliant sequence to work with in the water element, because we're focusing a lot on the lymphatic system and clearing and cleansing. So because of how the moves work, we go side to side, we come down into the knees and the hips, so all of the areas that lymph actually flows and where the lymph nodes are, it gives a little massage and stimulation to that. So we're going to be using a couple of mudras, the Kshetra mudra or the Kali mudra, where we've got three fingers extended, clasped, and then the index fingers extended. Now, where the thumbs cross, right thumb over left thumb is masculine, left thumb over right thumb is feminine, and then for balance we have two together. So depending on where you're at and where the moon is, and again, if the season it is, you can work with whatever feels right for you. And then we've also got Yoni Mudra. So with the thumbs together, the index fingers touching and pointing down, and they begin the sequence and they end it. All right, so I'm going to move over onto my mat, and yeah, hopefully you can follow along. Just move this chair out the way a bit. All right, so we're going to begin by standing in mountain pose, and we'll start with if it's we're always going to work with what is available for our body, not for how you think it should look, or I want you to really feel it wants to feel good in your body. And equally, when we go low down on the floor, if your knees and hips don't like it, we're going to keep it upright. So I'll show you how to do that as well. So the big toes are together, the heels are a little bit apart. I'm going to just soften a little bit through the knees and the hips. So I want the pelvis nice and soft and neutral, but not, so we don't want anything being locked here because we're working with feminine energy. Shoulders are up, around, back and down. So again, we just let the heart be quite open and free. The head is lifted. And then we're going to bring the hands into that Yoni Mudra, connecting down to the inner moon within us. So as we feel the feet in connection with earth, you might like to just for a moment gently close your eyes. And in your mind's eye, maybe just picturing a beautiful full moon. And maybe you can visualize that moon reflected on still water. And as you breathe again, just feeling into the breath as that calming, constant force that is always with you. Now, as we begin this first session, this first sequence, I'd like us to just take ourselves, journey back in time to the girls that we used to be. And you might like to meet her at whatever age she is, wherever she is right now. And as we begin this first sequence, we're going to dedicate this first round to the girls that we used to be. The ones who survived, who were strong and resilient and got us to where we are right now. So with an in-breath, the hands are going to gently come out to the sides. We're going to trace a full moon all the way up to the top. And as the hands come together at the top, we can create that Kshetra Mudra. Elbows are just going to extend, and so they come a little bit closer to the ears, and we're going to take a nice deep breath in there. Now, as you breathe out, we're going to lean into the right side. Again, only as far as feels right for your body. And then in breath, we come back to center. This represents the crescent moon to each side. In breath again, as we come back to center, and then we're going to step the feet to 10 to 2. Bend the knees and let the elbows gently come out to the side as we come into goddess pose. In breath, as we lift, feet come parallel, fingertips extend out, arms out to the sides. And as we turn the palms front, we're going to turn the feet towards the right side. Take a lovely, deep, nourishing breath. And then as you breathe out, bending the front knee slightly, we're going to reach and then gently tip into our triangle pose. Now, again, you can go as deep or as shallow as that feels for your body. I'm just going to gently straighten that knee without locking into the back knee. Now, if you don't have any vertigo or any balance problems, you can take the head to look up towards the thumb and just take a couple of nice deep breaths there. As you bend into the front knee again, the top arm is going to come over the top. And we're going to bring our hands either to the thigh or to the floor. And I'm just going to invite you just to bring fingertips to the floor. So we're going to take a nice deep breath in as you look forwards. And then as you breathe out, just bowing into yourself as the head comes in, and gently feel that stretch through the backs of the legs. And a bend again, take an in-breath. And then out-breath again as you stretch. In-breath again. And out-breath. Like to think about this movement as a self-honouring. I'm going to bring the back knee down, top of the foot on the floor. And again, we're going to keep the knee above the ankle here as we move into this lovely flow. So the arms come up. You can take that Kshetra Mudra again with the in-breath into crescent lunge. And then waterfall arms as the arms come out to the sides with the out-breath. In-breath as the arms come up. And then again, out-breath again. This is a mudra of letting go, mudra of release. And then out-breath again. Lovely. Now we're going to come into side squat. If this movement is no good for knees, we can keep this upright. So we'd keep this here to this top position, then to the center, and then to the other side. So yeah, look after your knees and your hips. Now from here, we're going to add in a gentle spinal flow. So we're activating the inner thigh, which is a divine feminine line. So as we gently lean the chest forwards, the head drops down, you'll probably feel sensation here. So with the in-breath, I'm going to gently roll the spine as I bring my head up with the in-breath and then roll down with the out-breath. Again, in-breath and out-breath. In-breath again and out-breath. I'm going to use my hands to gently support me into a center squat. Now, you can be on the toes, you can be supported with a bolster, and if you do have any sort of prolapse, please make sure that you're supported here. Now, if you'd like to, we can just gently flow the hips here. Now, again, the hips are an area of the body, the female body, that can hold quite a lot of emotional energy. So we're always going to approach the hips with care and ease. And then if you'd like to, you can land here for a moment, holding that Kshetra Mudra. And just letting the head drop and just taking 3 slow, steady breaths. This represents in the sequence the new moon. So we're going to unfold this all in repeat to the other side. I'm going to bring the fingertips each side of the knee to support, and I extend now the right leg out to the side. Again, if you need to be upright, you can do that. I'm going to gently flow the spine. So I'm going to take an in-breath and then an out-breath. In-breath and out-breath. In-breath and out-breath. And then we move back into our crescent lunge again. So again, you might need to just step that foot forwards a little. So again, just landing down and in, making sure that we're not collapsing down into that hip, but we're nicely supported. And then we begin that gentle water flow arm. So the arms come up with the Kshetra Mudra with the in-breath. And then releasing out to the sides of the out-breath. Again, in-breath and out-breath. And in-breath and out-breath. Fingertips to the ground. We're going to tuck the toes. And just gently soften through that front knee. So we're taking an in-breath here, and again in relationship with the body. As you breathe out, the head comes in as the backs of the legs stretch. In breath, we're going to do that 3 times, nice and slow. Out breath. In breath. And again, out breath. I'm going to turn the back foot slightly, bend the front knee. I'm going to bring my right hand in front of my, my left hand in front of my left ankle. Now with the right arm, I'm just going to gently roll the spine so that we come back again into that triangle pose. Now again, if the head and if the neck is okay, we're going to look up towards the thumb, the right hand, take a breath in, and then maybe straighten up through that left leg if that feels okay for your body, without locking the knee. So with the next in-breath, we're going to take the right arm down past the hip to bring it a full circle and land back into our 5-pointed star. So the feet parallel, fingertips extended, taking a nice deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, coming back into that goddess. Lovely. Then I'm going to step back, bring the feet together. Big toes together, heels a little apart, extended up through that Kshetra Mudra, through that index finger. Take an in-breath. And as you breathe out, gently lean again into the right side. In-breath center. And out-breath to the left side. And bring yourself back to center. You're going to bring the backs of the hands together. And take a nice deep breath in. And then as you breathe out, we're going to trace the full moon all the way back. All the way back to me again. Down to the inner moon and the sacred center. And then a lovely affirmation to our younger self. To the girl I used to be, I thank you. I'm just taking a couple of breaths to let your heart rate settle. And then just take a moment to connect into the woman that you are right now. Everything, all of the challenges that she's overcome to get to this point. And really take a moment to feel pride in who you are right now. Again, connecting into the inner moon, the feminine within. And with the next in-breath, again, we're going to trace the full moon all the way right up to the top, standing nice and tall, clasping the fingers, extending through the index fingers, in-breath. And then again, we're going to come to the right side with the out-breath. In-breath center, and then out-breath to the left. In-breath center, and we step out into our goddess. 5-pointed stars, the feet can parallel. And then turning the hands, turn the feet as we move into that extended triangle pose. So soften through the knees, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, reach. And then we're going to gently tip over into our triangle pose, turning the head if it feels good and straightening that front leg. And take a couple of breaths here. Top arm is going to gently come over the top, and as the arm comes over the back heel, it's going to turn a little. And then both fingertips come down towards the floor with the front knee bent. Take an in-breath. And as you breathe out, we're going to just straighten in and bow into ourselves, that girl that we used to be, the woman that we are now. Breathe in. And again, breathe out. Breathe in to bend. And breathe out, straighten. Dropping the back knee. Again, just making sure that the knee is above the ankle, so we've got that support. And we flow in the arms, breathing in and breathing out. And breathe in and breathe out. Breathe in and again breathe out. Breathe out through the mouth if it feels good. Now we're going to come across into that dynamic side squat. And again, just feeling into that inner thigh, the divine feminine channel of energy. And we're going to flow through that lovely spinal flow. Head drops down. In breath as you gently roll through the spine to come up. Out breath, lower. In breath, lift. And again, lower. And lift. And then again, just supporting yourself to the center. Squat that new moon phase. And we're going to gently roll through the hips, just slow and steady. So really nourishing your hips and your pelvis here. And then we'll just gently land in the center of that in however, again, if you need that support, please take it. And we're just going to take 3 nice, slow, deep breaths. And then we're going to repeat all to the left side. So the right leg extends. And again, I'm just going to gently flow through the spine so the head drops down. In breath as the head lifts, spine rolls, out breath. And in breath. And out breath. And in breath. And turning towards the left side, right knee comes down. Again, just making sure that that knee is above the ankle to support, so we're not dropping into the hip. In breath. And out breath. In breath. And out breath. In breath. And out breath. Fingertips to the ground, tucking the toes under. And again, just finding your center of balance as the knee bends. Breathe in. And then breathe out as you gently straighten, just bowing the head in. Breathe in to bend. And breathe out to straighten. Breathe in, bend. And breathe out, straighten. Turning the back foot just slightly, bending the front knee, left knee. I'm going to bring the left hand just in front of the shin, calf, knee. And then gently roll up the spine into triangle. Looking up towards the top hand. Again, just taking 3 slow, deep breaths there. And then the last out breath. I'm going to bring that arm down past the hip. Just circle it up to bring us back up to standing. Both arms come out parallel into 5-pointed star with the out breath. And then taking a nice deep breath in. And then out breath, we're going to come into our goddess. Bring the feet together, big toes together, heels slightly apart, extending through the fingertips. Breathe in. And then again, breathe out to the right. Breathe in center. And breathe out left. Breathe in center, bring the backs of the hands together. And as you breathe out, tracing the full moon. All the way back down. And again, connecting back to the Yoni Mudra as you bring that connection back to the belly. Now honouring of the women that we are now. To the woman I am now, you are exactly where you are meant to be. To the woman you are now, you are exactly where you are meant to be. Just take a nice deep breath in. And again, you might want to just release that breath through the mouth. As we move into the next round, our last round, that is dedicated to the women that we are yet to become. Those wise elders that are there ahead of us, cheering us on. So again, as we gently unfold, tracing the full moon with an in-breath. Bringing the fingers together as we extend through the fingertips. And then the out breath again, just gently leaning towards the right side. In breath center, and then gently leaning towards the left side. In breath, and then gently stepping out again into our goddess pose, fingers nice and wide, just really getting energy right to them fingertips. Feet parallel, extend out through the fingertips with all the fingers wide. Take an in-breath, and as you turn the hands, we're going to turn the feet. Bend the front knee, right knee, and then gently reach and tip into our triangle pose. So we're not looking for any major extensions here. It just wants to feel good. So we're looking up towards the top hand, straightening the front leg if that feels good, again without locking that knee, and taking 3 slow, steady breaths. On the third out breath, we're going to bring the arm over the top, and as we bring it over the top, the pelvis turns, the back heel turns slightly, front knee is going to bend, and we're bringing the fingertips to the earth. Now I'm going to take an in-breath with the knee bent, out breath as the head bows in, and we straighten that front leg. In-breath bend, out breath stretch. In-breath bend, out breath stretch. Bend in the front knee, we're going to bring the back knee down. Again, we just move into those lovely waterfall arms. So breathing in as the arms go overhead. Breathing out as they release out to the sides. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. And then gently coming across into our dynamic side squat. Now again, just with the fingertips to the earth, knees between the arms. And take an in-breath here to lift. And then out breath as we gently lean down and in. Breathe in as the head raises through that lovely spinal flow. Out breath. In breath. And out breath. And then gently walking across into that lovely squat position, Malasana squat. You can, again, just gently ease into the hips. We're not pushing or forcing, definitely not in the hips. We're just inviting softness there. Inviting flow. And then come into center. Again, you might want to be on the heels. You may not have that. You might not be able to get there, and that's okay. You can be on the toes. You can be supported on a bolster. But just hold for 3 slow, steady, deep breaths. Again, if you feel that you want to release through the mouth, if you're holding a lot, you can just release it through your mouth. If it feels good with sound, with a hum. Then we're going to unfold through the left side. So fingertips to each side of the left knee, right leg is extended. And again, we're going to come through that lovely spinal flow. So breathing in. And then breathe out as you gently bow into yourself. Breathe in, gently unfold. And breathe out, release.
Andrea,
breathe in.
There's a lady at the door for you. Some cacao or something.
Oh, hang on. Sorry about that. All the things. The third time. And then again, gently unfold. Lovely. And then we're going to come across again into that lovely waterfall arm. So checking the knees above the ankle. In breath. And out breath. In breath. And out breath. In breath. And out breath. Fingertips to the ground, tuck the toes. Again, just keeping that front knee bent slightly. We're going to take an in breath here. And then out breath as the head drops in. In breath. And out breath. Last one, in breath. And again, out breath. Just feeling that relationship with your body as you feel into that lovely stretch. And softening through that front knee. Turn the back foot a little. I'm going to bring the hand in front of the inner ankle or shin or knee. And gently roll open the spine. Again, just follow with your gaze if you can to look up to that top thumb. But again, if you can't do that, you can look to the big toe. So again, just taking 3 steady breaths. And the last out breath, we're going to circle that arm down. Bring it all the way up so that we flow back into our 5-pointed star, bringing the feet parallel. Nice deep in breath. And as you breathe out, feet go to 10 to 2. And we drop into our goddess squat. And then stepping back into center with our Kshetra Mudra, big toes together, heels a little apart, take an in breath. And then out breath to the right. In breath to center. And then out breath left. In breath to center. And bring the backs of the hands together. And as you breathe out, tracing that full moon. And bring it all the way down. Again, coming back down to that Yoni Mudra, down to the belly. And again, just taking 3 slow, steady breaths. To the woman I am yet to become, I see you. To the woman I am yet to become, I see you. So we're going to gently come down onto our belly, into our crocodile pose, so belly down. You can have the heels maybe just flopping a bit out to the sides, make a pillow with your hands, and just soften through as you rest the forehead down onto the hands. And again, just letting the whole of your body gently release down. Allowing your breath to gently nourish the whole of you. And just resting in that quiet calm. Again, just feeling into your breath. and the steadiness. Again, just notice the felt sense that your body is experiencing through the practice. And just share this lovely reading by Lunar from the Feral Secrets of the Deep Feminine. To feel the goddess in you, you do not have to drink green juices all day or have radiant skin. You don't have to be creatively inspired or sensual or turned on. You don't need to be mentally sane or chaste or sexual or thin. You don't need to have badass boundaries. You don't need to be a lady boss entrepreneur. You don't need to have Instagram followers. You don't need to eat right or sleep well or have a healthy body. You don't need to get rid of all your trauma or shame. The goddess claims you exactly as you are. She only asks that you come down low. Sink sweetly down and in. She is the river underneath all your striving. Nothing is forbidden, and nothing is required to know her. She is in you, of you, as you. In you, as you, for you. She is love eternal. She is life even in sickness and despair. She never leaves you. You are worthy as you are. There is nothing to be done. So you might like to gently come back into a child's pose for a moment. And then really taking your time to unfold from this practice, and whether you're practicing at night or in the morning, I'm just wishing you a very beautiful day or evening or a really lovely night's sleep, whatever it is that you're doing. Take care, and I will see you really, really soon. Bye.